I've driven a bunch of cars over the years, and some brands straight up impressed me, while others made me wish I'd walked away from the dealership. So here's my honest ranking of every major car brand, from the ones that'll drain your wallet to the ones that just don't miss. Hey guys, this is Luke from CarlandTV, and it's time to slide into the driver's seat, cause today, I'm putting every car brand on blast to see who's killing it and who's just coasting on old hype. Buckle up, cause some of your favorite brands might catch a few punches in this one. But first, do me a quick favor. Tap that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. It ain't required, but those clicks keep this thing rolling and make it easier for me to keep dropping solid car content straight to your screen. Now let's get back into it. The brands that fell off hard tier. Let's kick this off with the brands that, honestly, need a wake-up call. I'm talking about the ones that used to mean something but now just feel like background noise. Take Mitsubishi, for example. This brand once dropped legends like the Evo and the 3000 GT, cars that made tuners lose their minds. But now, they're out here pushing the Outlander and Mirage like that's supposed to keep the hype alive. The Mirage is one of the cheapest new cars in America, but it also ranks near the bottom in power, comfort, and safety. It's not hate, it's just facts. Then there's Fiat. They came back to the US market thinking Americans wanted small, Euro-style city cars, but the truth is, we don't have roads like Rome. The 500 and 500 liters flopped hard because they weren't practical, reliable, or built for the average American commute. Even their sales numbers prove it. Fiat barely sells a few hundred cars a year here now. Alfa Romeo's in the same sinking boat. They've got gorgeous designs like the Giulia and Stelvio, but those things spend more time in the shop than on the road, and J.D. Power reliability rankings have them sitting near the bottom. It's wild how these brands had all the potential, but just stopped evolving. They're either too slow to adapt or too stubborn to fix what's broken. So yeah, this tier's for the automakers that just can't keep up. The once great, now mid-tier. There was a time when some of these brands were straight-up legends, but now they're kinda just existing. Ford used to run the streets with cars like the Focus ST, Fusion, and Mustang GT being the go-to rides for different crowds. But ever since Ford ditched sedans to focus on SUVs and trucks, they lost that everyday car magic. Yeah, the F-150 and Bronco are still doing work, but the lineup feels hollow without something fun and affordable for regular folks. It's like they put all their eggs in the truck basket and forgot that not everyone wants to drive a giant box every day. Nissan's another one that fell from grace. Remember when the Altima, Maxima, and 350Z were considered cool? Now it feels like they've been stuck in 2015 ever since. The CVT transmissions are notorious for being unreliable, and their interiors just don't feel like they've evolved with the times. The brand's slowly trying to bounce back with the new Z and Ariya EV, but it's going to take more than a couple of flashy models to rebuild trust. Then there's Chevy. I still have love for the Silverado and Corvette, but everything else feels like filler content. The Malibu's hanging by a thread, and the Equinox doesn't exactly inspire anyone. When your best-selling vehicles are trucks and sports cars, but your everyday lineup's getting whooped by Toyota and Hyundai, that says a lot. These brands aren't trash yet, but they sure ain't what they used to be. The cheap for a reason tier. Have you ever seen a car deal that looks too good to be true, and then it actually is? That's this tier right here. Some brands build cars that look solid on paper, but the catch shows up fast once you've had them for a year or two. I'm talking about low-cost brands like early 2010 seconds, Kia, Hyundai, and newer budget imports trying to break into the US market. These cars are cheap for a reason, usually because the cost-cutting is buried under flashy screens and big warranty promises. The older Kias and Hyundais had weak transmissions, cheap plastics, and were way too easy to steal thanks to that missing immobilizer drama that turned into a full-blown TikTok crime wave. Even some newer Chinese brands like BYD or Geely are trying to jump into the American market with low prices and long-range EVs, but the build quality and safety testing just aren't there yet. And don't forget Nissan's cheaper rides like the Versa or Sentra-based models. Yeah, they're affordable, but drive one for a while and the cabin noise, cheap materials, and sluggish engines start to remind you why they're priced that way. What's wild is that not all of these cars are total fails. They get people from point A to B, and for tight budgets, that's all that matters. But if you're looking for something that feels solid, drives well, and holds value, this tier is where dreams go to die. The glow-up tier. If we're talking glow-ups, this tier deserves some serious respect. Brands like Kia, Hyundai, and Mazda came from being the butt of every car joke to actually giving the big names a run for their money. I remember when owning a Kia meant you were broke or didn't care what you drove. Now, you pull up in a K5 or Telluride and people start asking questions. Hyundai's doing the same with the Ioniq 5 and 6, both pulling awards from Motor Trend and IIHS like it's nothing. They've got sharp design, legit build quality, and hybrid or EV options that feel way more advanced than their price tag. Mazda's another name that seriously leveled up. The CX-5 and CX-50 don't just look premium, they drive premium. That G-vectoring control and balanced chassis tuning make them some of the best handling SUVs in their class. Plus, their interiors feel way classier than the price suggests. They got real soft-touch materials, clean layouts, and driver-focused cabins that give off mini Lexus vibes. What really sells this tier for me is how consistent these brands are in safety and reliability. Kia and Hyundai both offer 10-year warranties, which shows they trust their engineering now. Sure, they had recall issues before, but they learned and evolved quickly. These aren't the cheap cars anymore. They're the ones that make you feel smart for not overspending. If you're on a budget and still want something you're proud to park, this is where the winners live. The middle-class sweet spot tier. Now we're talking about the real MVPs of daily driving. Brands like Toyota, Honda, and Subaru are basically the backbone of American driveways. I've driven all three, and what stands out is how effortlessly they balance reliability, comfort, and resale value. Toyota's the king of longevity. Models like the Camry, Corolla, and RAV4 regularly clock over 250,000 miles without drama, and that's not marketing fluff. Consumer Reports and J.D. Power back it up every year. Toyota's hybrid lineup is still the gold standard too, with the Prius and RAV4 hybrid both leading the pack for fuel efficiency. Honda's another one that nails the formula. The Civic and Accord continue to crush it in terms of build quality and resale value, and the CR-V just keeps proving why it's one of the most trusted SUVs in America. Honda engines are smooth, durable, and the VTEC tech still holds up after all these years. Even their CVTs are tuned better than most rivals. Subaru deserves its spot here too. Standard all-wheel drive across almost every model, and their safety ratings are elite. The EyeSight Driver Assist Suite has saved more than a few bumpers. No cap. These brands aren't flashy, but they're dependable as hell. They've mastered the no-headaches lifestyle. Just hop in, drive, and forget about the mechanic for a few years. If you're middle class and want a car that won't let you down or kill your wallet, this tier is where you find peace of mind. The luxury, but worth it tier. This tier right here is for the folks who want that high-end feel without paying for a badge that breaks your wallet later. Lexus, Acura, and Genesis are the heavy hitters in this group. Lexus has been the quiet goat of luxury reliability for decades. Their cars don't just look classy, they age like fine wine. The Lexus ES and RX are basically unkillable, and their hybrid tech is smoother than most gas engines out there. Even Consumer Reports has Lexus topping reliability charts year after year. When you drive one, it feels like Toyota's reliability has just put on a suit and tie. Acura deserves props, too. Honda's premium brand really hit its stride again with models like the MDX and Integra Type S. They blend performance and comfort without losing that everyday usability. You can floor it on a highway, then drive your kids to school the next morning without any stress. Genesis, on the other hand, came out swinging. The GV70 and G80 straight up embarrassed some German competitors with better interiors, more tech, and lower prices. Their cars feel luxurious, not just trying to be. What makes this tier special is how these brands manage balance. They give you comfort, performance, and high-quality interiors without the maintenance horror stories that plague German cars. You can daily drive one, road trip it, or pull up somewhere nice and still look put together. For me, that's what real luxury should be about. The bougie, but problematic tier. Boy, we're stepping into the flashy side of the car world, the brands everybody dreams about until that first repair bill hits. BMW, Mercedes, and Audi are the big three here. I've driven all of them, and yeah, they're a blast when everything's working right. BMW's handling is still unmatched in its class, especially the 3 Series and M cars. They've got that perfect balance between power and control. But once that warranty ends, those repair costs will make your eyes water. Even simple maintenance can run double what you'd pay for a Lexus or Acura. Mercedes plays the luxury card hard. The interiors are stunning, the tech is top tier, and the S-Class is basically a rolling first-class seat. But reliability's been rough lately. Consumer Reports consistently puts them below average, and all that fancy tech just means more stuff that can break. Same story with Audi. Their Quattro system is amazing in bad weather, and the A6 and Q7 drive smoothly as butter. But long-term ownership can be rough. Electrical issues, oil leaks, and high maintenance costs are common headaches for owners once those miles start stacking up. These brands deliver insane performance and comfort, no doubt about it. But they're like dating someone who's high maintenance. Everything looks and feels great in the beginning, but you'd better be ready for drama later. I love driving them, but owning them long-term, that's a whole different story. The performance tier. Some brands don't just build cars, they build experiences that make your heart race every time you hit the gas. Porsche sits right at the top of that mindset. The engineering that goes into something like a 911 or Cayman is unreal. Every movement, every sound, every shift feels surgical. They're pricey, sure, but you get what you pay for. That precision and durability are why so many old Porsches are still ripping around decades later. Car and Driver literally ranks the 911 as one of the best performance cars ever made, year after year. Chevy earns its spot here too, specifically because of the Corvette. The new C8 changed the game with that mid-engine layout and supercar-level performance for under 70 grand. That thing runs 0-60 inches under 3 seconds, and it'll hang with Ferraris that cost triple the price. Then you've got Dodge holding it down for the old-school muscle crowd. The Charger Hellcat and Challenger SRT are pure chaos in the best way, cranking out 700-plus horsepower just to make you grin like a fool. Tesla deserves a shout-out too, especially with the Model S Plaid hitting 1,000 horsepower and running 0-60 inches under 2 seconds. That's spaceship territory. These brands might be very different, but they've all built their rep around giving you that rush only real performance cars can deliver. If speed, sound, and soul matter to you, this is the tier that hits the dopamine button every single time. The built different tier. There are car makers out there that don't care about blending in, and I respect that energy. Subaru has been doing its own thing for decades, keeping that flat 4-boxer engine and all-wheel drive setup in nearly every model. The Forester, Crosstrek, and Outback don't need to scream luxury because they've built trust through reliability and function. It's that brand you see in every mountain town or ski resort because people know those things just don't quit. Subaru's safety record with the EyeSight system is also one of the best in the business, which makes their loyal fan base make total sense. Toyota stays in this lane too, but for a different reason. They aren't chasing crazy horsepower numbers or wild designs, they're obsessed with consistency and innovation. Between their hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and new solid-state battery plans, Toyota keeps proving you can evolve without throwing reliability out the window. The new Land Cruiser and Tacoma hybrids are proof that they can adapt without losing what made them great. Then you've got Rivian coming in hot. They're young, but the R1T and R1S are changing how people think about electric trucks. Built for trails, water crossings, and real adventure, not just grocery runs. It's that mix of rugged and futuristic that's honestly refreshing. These brands have one thing in common. They build vehicles with a clear purpose instead of chasing trends. That's why they stand out, even in a market full of noise. The GOAT tier. Every car list has that top shelf where only the absolute best brands live, and this is it. Toyota, Porsche, and Lexus sit at the top of my ranking without question. Toyota earned that spot through decades of consistency. Whether it's a Corolla, Tacoma, or Highlander, their cars just keep running no matter how hard you beat on them. The resale value is wild too, with used Toyotas holding up better than most new cars from other brands. Their hybrid lineup basically built the modern eco-car movement, and the company still leads in dependability, according to J.D. Power and Consumer Reports. Then you've got Porsche, the performance GOAT. The 911 has been refining perfection for 60 years, and every generation gets sharper without losing that driver connection. The Macan and Cayenne proved Porsche can do SUVs without selling out. Their reliability has actually gotten solid too, with Porsche ranking near the top of luxury dependability reports in recent years. Every drive feels special, even if you're just running errands. Lexus wraps it up as the smooth operator of the bunch. They don't just build cars, they build comfort tanks. The LS, RX, and LC all deliver pure luxury with Toyota-grade reliability baked in. You can hit 200,000 miles and still have that quiet, buttery ride. These three brands mastered their crafts. Toyota builds trust, Porsche builds thrill, and Lexus builds peace of mind. That's why they're untouchable.